It's easy enough to follow the winding streets climbing uphill towards the distant tower. Hours later, legs aching, sweat beating on my forehead, I finally find what I'm searching for. The cenobium of luminous void. It stands at the highest point of Eridia, surrounded by cold white walls. Well-dressed people stroll down the walkways, ignoring the massive tower in their midst. I'm the only one standing before the gates. I crane my neck up until the top of the cenobium spire disappears into the clouds overhead. I frown up at the gates, wondering what secrets wait on the other side. Despite their delicate beauty, there must be more to them than meets the eye. Knocking seems like a terrible idea, but I don't see any other way of making my presence known. I'm halfway up the steps when something moves in my peripheral vision. A shadowy figure crouches beneath one of the white walls. They reach out and tug on a vine, as if testing its strength. Oi, you there! The shadow vanishes as quickly as I spotted it, and a gaunt-faced man in a crisp charcoal uniform marches up the steps towards me. Another tourist. Get out of here once you're done gonking. A dismissive wave accompanies his equally dismissive words, and he turns without even waiting for my response. I look back at where I saw the intruder, but there's nothing. Just the leaves blowing gently in the cold breeze. I step away from the gate, hopelessness washing over me. What is this? Hello? A whisper coats the back of my ear, hot and syrupy. I jerk away, but find no one beside me. Instead, halfway down the staircase, there I go with the staircase. The staircase, it's because I'm reading it very raw and it comes out like that. Halfway down the staircase, I spot a girl peering up at me. She's barefoot, trapped in several layers of worn, moth-eaten clothing. Peculiar metal jewelry hangs across her face and jingles with each slight movement. Her eyes are her most striking feature. They shine a scorching, unnatural crimson. She's probably a monster too or something. It feels like staring into the sun, and yet I'm strangely captivated by her. She tilts her head, the tinkling of metal riding the wind. Do you need help? I don't even know if I should say yes. Let's face it, I do. I'm unsure how to respond. The air is charged with a mysterious energy, as if each of my words is worth its weight in gold. On the off chance she can help me, I might as well be somewhat truthful. I do, but wanting it is another question. The giggle she makes is a chiming, fluttering sound. It's a chiming, fluttering sound. I'm eating words in here. I noticed. This is like, yeah. It's morning, so kind of hungry. Start eating things in here. You are honest. I like that. She dips into a polite curtsy. My name is Iris. I was like you once, hopeless and alone. The ones in the tower won't help with your pain. I might be able to, though. Yes, of course. Like everyone comes with this type of conversation. Have you noticed that? I try not to dwell on the fact that I'm recognizably desperate. Instead, I focus on her vague offer as I descend the steps. You don't know what I'm looking for. You need what everyone needs in this world, a miracle. Iris turns and my thoughts abruptly scatter. Pitted skin snakes down her shoulders, blooming from a gaping hole in the back of her neck. A shuddering breath escapes me. The fuck? Whatever disease she had consumed her from the inside out. How is she able to move or breathe? It's impossible. She shouldn't be alive, and yet... I only get a glimpse before she faces me once more, this time looking a bit bashful. I know it's not pretty, but that's not what matters. The sea spring can cure anything. It can cure you too. Her shining eyes flick to my bandaged hands, then up again so quick I nearly miss it. I stand there, wordless, with a twisted miracle, but a miracle nonetheless. She extends a hand out to me, her delicate fingers outstretched. I can take you there if you like. You can decide on your own when you see it. Her hand is frail, marred with tiny wounds. It's the epitome of vulnerability, the complete opposite of the cenobium's mocking, impenetrable gates. And if I say no, it's your choice. The truth is, I don't have much of a choice, not right now at least. I wonder if Iris knows that somehow. If there's any hope of finding a cure, I need to follow every lead, including seeing this sea spring for myself. Let me tell you, we might get into a bad ending in here, but whatever. Since I said I do, we'll go back. We'll go back and do it again. Take her hand. I cautiously slide my hand into hers. Her skin is ice cold through my bandages. We descend from the higher streets, abandoning their gilded decadence as we cross the river. The wet, the relic districts hold more familiarity for me. However, Iris leads me further still until I'm met with an all too familiar sight. Okay. My gut lurches when I face the open horizon. The sea spring is straight ahead. Eridia's outskirts are hardly recognizable in daylight, but venturing beyond city walls is a gamble I wasn't prepared to take so soon. I shake my head and pull away from Iris. I'm not leaving the city. She circles in front of me with a placating gesture. Don't be scared, I promise you it's all right. You're as safe inside the city as outside of it, and this stretch before you is the safest of all. She casts a wistful gaze out over the wastes as if admiring something beyond the vista. This region belongs to Ace? Maybe? I don't know. Some call him a gang leader, but he's much more than that. It's difficult to string my thoughts together. Only a fool would leave the city, but a primal instinct tells me that Iris isn't lying. She twirls around with another curtsy, jewelry twinkling playfully in the sunlight. Her doe eyes soften with a smile. As I said, it's your choice. Thank you for coming this far. I hope we meet again. Oh my god, I blink and she's gone. Confusion grips me as I look around, searching for any trace of her. But I'm completely alone, with only the vast nothingness of the waste for company. Did I just imagine everything? No, that whole encounter was real. Again, that primal instinct insists on it. I'm really thinking that we're going to a bad ending, because when I was like, I think this is a monster. I should not say that I need help from a monster, you know. But I was, at the same time, you know, when your curiosity gets you like, let's just say I do and see where this is going. Again, that primal instinct insists on it, just like it insisted on Iris' honesty. The sea spring is straight ahead. If it managed to cure Iris, I need to see what it can do for me. I venture forth, nerves and determination roiling together in my chest. My heart pounds with each step I take from civilization. For what seems like an eternity, I force each foot forward, one step, then another, until a realization hits me. I never told Iris my name. Something pierces the horizon ahead of me, a building nestled into a tall cliffside. It appears so starkly out of place that it might as well be an hallucination, dripping with extravagance and adorned in honeyed mahogany. It's an ornate jewel of architecture. Dark silhouettes skirted on both sides, trees, I think, until I'm close enough to realize that what I mistook for branches were spikes and jutting tendrils. Soulless. Several of them watch me in the distance like statues. Flashes of last night chases me, the gushes of blood and screams of death, the smell of burning flesh and sour bile. I can go through that again. I won't. Exploding into a messy sprint, I push my legs as fast as they'll tell me towards the decorating building. The next thing I know, I'm dashing up wooden stairs and crashing through towering double doors. My lungs burn from exertion. I gasp for breath, desperate to be safe, but when I orient myself with my surroundings, it's more hellscape than sanctuary. Blood flows all around me, overwhelming my vision with a lurid and holy red. Instinctively, my hand leaps to my mouth. But the rotten stench of blood never comes. Instead, a smoky scent hangs in the air, sharp and spicy. I swallow thickly, convincing myself that it's not as gruesome as it appears. This has to be the sea spring, the place that grants miracles. Tall pillars flank me, blanking in written notes. Sitting pillows scatter the floor. A rustic kettle sits nearby. Someone must live here, despite how eerily empty it is. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, call out. Hello, is anyone here? My voice echoes across the cavern without response. I approach the paper-covered pillars. Maybe something here can tell me more. I reach for the closest one. I reach for a note in front of me. It reads, "Dear Mother, don't cry for me. I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye, but we'll meet again in another life. I love you very much. P.S. If you ever see me, never speak to me again." It's written in perfect cursive. I've never seen such beautiful handwriting. Before I can ponder it further, a sharp chill runs down my spine. Something's watching me. I quickly set the note back, my eyes darting around the wooden deck, but it's still empty. Finally, I look towards the sea spring. That stillness hides something deeper, something wrong. Hey. I spin around and come face to face with a pack of soulless. They chitter and growl, tendrils and spikes flaring threateningly, all different sizes and species but sharing one identical trait, glowing crimson eyes. I try to back away, but my heel teeters over the sea spring. I'm cornered. Watch your step, it's deeper than it looks. That voice again. At the sound of it, the soulless freeze. Their snarls quieting. Oh, we got to see the other guy. Oh, yeah, because I was like, oh, are we just going to get a bad ending? I search for the voice's source and find it above me, lounging in the rafters. "You look lost, little sparrow." His gaze is a violent crimson, one that sears through me, leaves me feeling raw and exposed. They are the same eyes I've seen over and over, first with Iris, now with the soulless circling me, all bound by the sea spring blood red. In the shroud of darkness behind him, shapes like massive tentacles twist and coil around the wooden beams. I can't focus. The soulless growls will ring in my ears. They are not advancing, but that could change at any second. Panic rises in my throat as I struggle to track them. Hey! Eyes on me. My stomach rolls as I tear my eyes away from the soulless. Don't ignore someone who's talking to you. It's not polite. For a moment, anger knocks my fear aside. Who is this bastard? Distracted, fuck you. Well, I am distracted. I mean, yeah. I'm kind of distracted by the soulless about to maul me. Only on my command. I scan the soulless again. They really aren't attacking and are posturing more than anything else. You tame them? Power of the Sea Spring. Look at the name they put it, the bastard. They are hungry, so they might bite. You could give me a reason to stop them. How about I didn't do anything wrong? Trespassing. And that's punishable by death. He gives a non-committal shrug. I called out earlier to see if anyone was here. Were we supposed to play hide and seek? Didn't hear ya. My voice stops in my throat. This bastard's coolness is both infuriating and terrifying. I rack my brain for a way to defuse the situation. Okay, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. I'm not in the mood for guessing games. Your hands. Alarm jolts through me. I hide my hands under my cloak. Show me. Why? Won't ask twice. With a sharp exhale, I reluctantly hold out my bandaged hands. Are you getting off on this? Unwrap them. Heat rushes to my face and fire to my tongue. I should give him a piece of my mind, but not when his soulless are one command away from ripping me to shreds. Yet, no matter how much I will myself to move, my body stays frozen in place. I stand there for a long, agonizing minute. My hands are trembling. When I finally brace them, I know the skin beneath the wrappings all too well. The hideous, unnatural flesh I've grown to despise. I grip the edge of the bandages. Stop. With a weary sigh, the man slides off the beam and lands with a thud that shakes the panels underfoot. He's a monster, tall and imposing, with a presence that commands the room like gravity. Lantern light sculpts his face in sharp, unforgiving lines. Subtle clinks of metal accompany each of his footsteps. The closer he gets to me, the faster my heart hitches. What does he want? Is he going to kill me? I step backwards and find nothing to set my foot on. I've forgotten my back was the sea spring. I fall right before a warm hand catches my lower back. I'm hovering above, the sea spring and the scent of smoke and leather enveloping me. Blazing eyes bore into mine. Told you to watch your step. I'm too stunned to muster a response. Like I weighed nothing, he guides me back to solid ground. Following a subtle gesture from his fingers, the soulless around us disperse and relax. The shift in their demeanor is so abrupt, it gives me whiplash. The enormous tentacles are no longer in the rafters, though now I doubt I ever saw them at all. Either way, I let out a breath of relief. Thanks. As focused on me as he was before, the monster pays no attention to me now. He kicks some seating pillows out of the walkways, checks the contents of the kettle with a scowl. The sudden disregard is almost insulting. So that's it? I'm not a threat anymore? Never were one. Then why'd you threaten me? People get honest when they are afraid. In other words, he was messing with me. I drag a hand over my face, exhausted by the fact that this is the second time a monster has provoked me today. Your eyes? I'm going to say it like that. I don't know if this is the right way. Eyes, aren't you? Depends who's asking. One of your friends told me this was your territory. She also said you were a gang leader. But there's no one else here. I thought there'll be more people. Ice picks up the kettle, walks to the edge of the sea spring, and dumps the contents into the endless bread. They took a walk. His pleasant smile stretches ear to ear. Then in an instant, it drops. I get the sense that I shouldn't ask about that again. What do you need the sea spring power for? Depends. Can it cure a curse? Probably. You mean you don't know? Nope. He shakes out the empty kettle and starts collecting stray cups, tidying up. My frustration builds. I narrow my eyes at him in a questioning glare. When he notices, he returns it with an amused smirk. Are you being irritating on purpose? Listen, Sparrow, the sea spring can cure anything. Nothing stopping you from trying it yourself. What do I have to do? Drink? I have to drink from the sea spring. My eyes glide to the blood-like pool beside us. The idea of ingesting the liquid makes my guts churn. Is there a price? Always. Ice taps his temple with a finger. You lose it a little bit. That's it? Might have already beat it to the punch. My humor earns me an amused, fanged grin. This is a little different. When you drink from the sea spring, you forget who you are. Your mind combines with everyone who ever drank before. Humans, monsters, soulless, one big happy family in your head. My blood runs cold. I've heard of this before. Group minds. I thought they were just rumors. I've heard whispers of cults performing rituals to bind their members' minds together. It never seemed possible. But something tells me this is real, even if one thing doesn't add up. Your eyes are red too, but you obviously haven't forgotten who you are. Before I can finish my sentence, Ice strides past me towards the entrance. Time's up. Let's finish this later. Wait, already? You barely told me anything. Came on a bad day. I've got somewhere to be. There are still so many questions burning on the tip of my tongue, but my frustration spills out before I can ask any of them. I was told to come here for help, but instead I get threatened and kicked out. You're joking, right? Watch your tongue. I'm nice, but you don't want to ruin the host's mood. My skin prickles. The feeling of being watched washed over me again. My eyes dart back over to the sea spring. A lone ripple dances on the quiet surface. I take I's advice and clamp my mouth shut. Ice approaches a nearby Solus, a lanky dog-like one with 6 legs and a crown of tendrils. Several sets of red eyes adorn its sides. Its forked tail wags rapidly when Ice squats beside it. He runs his fingers through the tendrils, scratches its chin, and pats its head. A gentle smile plays across Ice's lips. The affection he holds for the Solus is painfully clear. I dip my eyes away, my stomach fluttering at the tender sight. It's getting dark out, so this pretty girl will guide you back. Following a short whistle from I's lips, it trots over to the entrance obediently, tail swaying. I watch the Solus warily. Pretty is not a word I would use to describe it, and the idea of it protecting me sounds absurd. If I decide to drink, how do I find you? Find someone with eyes like mine. They'll point you in the right direction. But think it over. Once you drink, you can go back. It's a lot to process, but I give a small nod. At least I know I have another option for a cure, as disturbing as it may be. I follow the Solus at the measured distance and watch it nudge the giant doors open with ease. When I'm about to cross the threshold, I sneak one last glance behind me. My heart skips when I meet Eyes eyes. I'm about to snap my head away. But he just flashes me an easy smile. Till next time, Sparrow, I'll buy you a drink for scaring you. I don't trust myself to do anything but respond with another curt nod. Outside, more crimson-eyed soulless scuttle about. It's hard to believe it's the same threatening pack from before. They chase each other in circles, roll around in a box mud. I've never known soulless to play, let alone keep company with each other. They are usually territorial and hostile. A part of me is almost happy for them. Being alone in this world is a fate I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, and somehow the Sea Spring has given them a family. But now is not the time to be envious of bloodthirsty creatures. The soulless pay no attention to me as the dog-like one escorts me away. Dusk darkens the sky by the time we reach the city. The soulless sits, canting its head at me with familiar crimson eyes. I think it wants something. Let's pet it. I've never encountered a soulless that likes to be pet, but I've never encountered a soulless that escorts people safely back to town either. I slowly reach out to the soulless, letting it sniff my closed fist so I don't startle it. But it just headbutts my knuckles, impatient and demanding. I let out a snicker. Okay, okay. I carefully glide my fingers through the soulless tendrils and scratch beneath its chin, just like Eyes had. It pushes into my palm in response, rubbling with a sound akin to a purr. The vibrations are soothing, almost healing my fatigue. When it's satisfied, the soulless spins around and scampers back in the direction we came, vanishing into the darkness. I've just arrived in Eridia, but I've already encountered so many things I thought were impossible, tamed soulless being one of them. My head spins. Maybe I should call it a day. Let's give it another one, because I never know. Nightfall creeps across the streets of Eridia. The city, labyrinthine, even in daytime, has now become a warren of treacherous alleyways. The streets are completely deserted. If I hadn't been here earlier, I would have thought this part of the city is abandoned. My steps slow when I hear rustling in the dark. I strain my ears, but everything is still. Is the silence playing tricks on me? Okay, they say the red ones might give us like some interesting scenes, right? So I need to move. I draw my cloak close and move towards the nearest building to disguise my silhouette in the dark. It was a quiet, wet sound, the sound of blood and flesh squelching. Something is out here on the streets with me, a soulless, a monster? I'm not quite sure which direction it came from, but I can't stay either. I need to get somewhere safer. Though I keep my eyes sharp and listen intently, there's only the sound of my own footsteps. I know what I heard. As the moment passes and nothing happens, I only grow more tense. I turn the next corner and my thoughts come screaming to an halt. My head spins, the world blurring as adrenaline rushes through my veins. Only one thing is clear amidst the haze. The soulless that attacked the caravan. It's crouched over a dark, indistinct shape, a body. A garland of intestines spilled from pallid flesh, blood, grouts of cobblestones. Holding my breath, I take a step backward. When the wet, slurping sounds don't abate, I take another, then another. Then a shard of glass crunches under my heel. The world slows to a crawl as the soulless raises its head, blood dripping from his tendrils, every single one of its bulging eyes fixed unblinkingly on me. It's really here. It's come back for me. Let's just run, yeah. I'm off like a shot, running for my life through the darkened streets. The soulless howls, its raspy voice harsh with hunger, and heavy footfalls pound after me. My heart thunders in my chest. I take turns at random, trying to lose the soulless in the maze of streets, but I can't seem to shake it. I can hear its breathing now, a wet, fluttering grasp, growing closer and closer. The same claws that severed my arms sweep out. I duck, saved by pure reflex, and skid around the corner only to freeze. A wall twice as high as me bars my way, a dead end. Behind me, the soulless looms, its enormous, taking up nearly the entire width of the alleyway. Its long, claw-tipped limbs give it the advantage of reach. Try to escape? I don't like fighting back with what? As the soulless prowls closer, my eyes dart from side to side looking for an escape. The soulless is blocking the obvious way out, but right behind me, there's a rickety door that must lead into the adjoining building. If I can get inside, the soulless size will hinder any attempt to pursue me. I whirl, grabbing at the handle. It turns completely, the hinges creaking as I push, and I feel a flash of hope before a weight hits the door from the other side and slams it shut. Let me tell you something. You know that sometimes I like to talk about this. So, this is so funny. Like, and my ex-husband used to laugh tons with me in America because let me tell you this, which is like push for us, it means to pull for you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say in here? So every time I would get near a door, I would stop. I would just like stop and think for a minute what I was going to do. Do you understand? Like, he would just laugh. He would just like, sometimes he would just like wait a bit for me to see my reaction, because he would just laugh about it. Yeah, because we have this. And another thing that I noticed is that for you, usually, at least when we were going to like places and restaurants and all of it, your doors, they open for the outside. And doors for us in here, even in restaurants and all, they open to the inside, okay? So it was like those two things. I would just stop and stand there and like think for a minute what I was going to do to push or pull, because I was like, oh, wait, I push, you know? Yeah, that was like, and like I was seeing like this scene, and I was like thinking about that. Yeah, very funny. Although it's like laughing about me, but yeah. In here, we don't write it in the same way, but the sound is exactly the same. Push is exactly the same, and push for us is your pull. Okay, so it's the opposite, and so it's messy. It gets messy in my head. But yeah, it was like more when I was like in front of the doors, and I was like, oh wait, push, pull, what? Okay. I always like stop it for a bit, like let me think a bit. Yeah, that was funny. The click of the lock turning is grimly final. In this wretched world, few people will stick their neck out to help their own flesh and blood, never mind a stranger. The soulless gives a rasping hiss. It's the only warning I get before it lunges for me with a flash of claws. I hurl myself to the side, but the sleek cobblestones betray me. I fall sprawling over the rough stone. As the soulless looms over me, I scramble away from it until my back hits the wall. There's nothing left to go. There's nowhere else to go, sorry. It descends on me for the kill. But the impact never comes. Oh, great, another guy. I rarely crack one eye open, then the other. Not sure. Like every time I think like I'm going to get the bad ending in here. Like, oh, there's like a guy in here. I rarely crack one eye open, then the other. Not sure whether I should believe what I'm seeing. A hooded figure crouches in front of me, one blood-stained hand outstretched. Oh, it's the other guy we saw. Moonlight silvers the edge of their stiletto knife. Their face and hands are splattered with blood, and the soulless. My eyes dart past my unexpected rescuer to the misshapen form behind them. The soulless many eyes, once restless and vibrant, now look dull and waxy. A red pool spreads slowly from under its body. Numb with shock, I can't help but stare. After all the people it's killed, after nearly killing me twice, I can hardly believe it's dead. Well, I gingerly take the offered hand. The hunter's gaze dips to my bandages. Pale lips part on the brink of a question, then close again. With the strength belying their slight frame, they pull me upright. I can feel the tension in their grip. Their fingers tremble like they want to pull away. It's a sensation I'm all too familiar with myself. Despite their obvious discomfort, they pause for a moment, pale eyes sweeping over me. Not going to fall? When I shake my head, my hastily let go and back off. They hastily, sorry. As I said, it's like, I think it has to do with the text speed is not at the usual speed that I usually put. And so it's like I'm reading and there's like movement under it. Do you understand? It's like there's still like some movement under it. And then my head gets like confused. I don't know. When I shake my head, they hastily let go and back off, wiping the blood from their face and hands. Yeah, I could put it like totally the speed to the maximum. I don't actually like it. I always like to have at least a bit. But it's fine. It's just that sometimes I do this. The hunter turns away from me, the heel of their boot hitting the soulless, gangly body. They lean over it, studying it intently. With their back to me, I realize that their hooded silhouette is familiar. I saw them outside the cenobium. What? Vestigial? Or functional? I'm startled out of my thoughts when they speak, but they aren't looking at me. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Sorry, I have no idea. Can all be processed in the brain? Its occipital lobes would have to be enormous. Okay, he's talking about the monster thing. Okay, I think I'm getting it now. In fact, I don't think they are talking to me at all. Stay quiet. He seems to be in his own world. Let him. I linger to listen, curious despite myself. They move to the soulless other side, still engrossed in their study of its many eyes. Sensory lag wouldn't be a problem, but how does it composite all the neurological input? I wonder. Maybe they caught sight of me in their peripheral vision, or maybe they heard me shift slightly. The hunter jolts upright, wide eyes landing on me. You're still here. What do you want? Sure, yeah, sure, I wanted to thank you. They stare at me, though their lips part. They seem to struggle to figure out what to say. Not used to hearing that. That hint of uncertainty almost vanishes under their scowl. Almost. You shouldn't need my help to begin with. What are you thinking? Traveling alone at night? This is far from the worst thing hunting Lowtown. I can't make heads or tails of them. First they save me, and now they scold me. Lesson learned. I could do without the lecture, though. To my surprise, they break eye contact. They frown, though their disapproval doesn't seem directed at me. If you are not going to run off screaming, you might as well wait until I'm done. Their attention glides back at the soulless corpse. They examine it with an inscrutable expression. I clear my throat to fill the silence. I'm Irina. What? Mean? Mine? The mean. The mean. Because he has the H. Let's say mean. Okay. I'm going to call him like that. I'm sorry. Sorry if I'm not saying it right. Suddenly mean tenses. Their blade flashes as they drive it into the back of a soulless neck. The soulless thrashes once, letting out a rattling hiss as the air leaves its lungs. Mean leans on the blade, driving it deeper and deeper until there's a sickening crunch and the creature goes limp. My heart thuds in my chest. It must have been clinging to life by a thread. Mean straightens up, withdrawing their blade in a single smooth motion. Better to put wretched things like this out of their misery. They calmly clean the blood from their knife. I swallow, my eyes still glued to the cooling corpse. Well, I would like to know about the both of them. He may not like that I'm prying too much into his own thing. Okay, let's go this way. Why is the soulless inside the city? He seems to be like on his own, probably like the lone wolf type. And I'm like, maybe he won't like me to pry too much into his own things, you know. Mean looks at me, eyes searching before realization dawns. You're new here. There's no walls around the city. Soulless can come and go as they please until someone is contracted to stop them. The Cenobians' patrols don't bother to protect Lowtown. Not anymore. Let me guess, you're not a fan of the Cenobium. I wouldn't go that far. Either way, it looks like I owe you. Mean's brow abruptly furrows, and they seethed their knife, motioning for me to follow. It's not safe here. The vultures can smell death. I'm not quite sure what they mean, but I don't want to stay lost in the city. I trail behind them as they stride down the street. If it's so dangerous, then why are you helping me? I came for the bounty on the soulless, and you were in the way. Not killing you isn't the same as helping you. Not killing you isn't the same as helping you. Don't count on being so lucky again, or you'll be dead by sunrise. Their answer is stingingly harsh. You know what? Fine. I just need to find my lodgings. Yeah, sure. I don't want to be rude or something. Let's leave it. I hold my hands up, trying to forestall any more sneaky comments. All right, I get it. I'll love to get out of your way, but I'm sort of lost. I just need directions back to my lodgings. Their brow furrows slightly. They open their mouth, and for a moment I could swear they look regretful. They sigh and shake their head. It's too dangerous at this hour. I'll take you to wherever you are staying. I wasn't expecting to get directions given their attitude. When they realize I'm staring, they look away with a huff. You'll be faster, that's all. I have a room at the Wet Week. The Wet Week. At the name, Mean's face falls. That gaudy cesspit. Not a fan. It's full of drunks and idiots. What do you think? True, it doesn't seem like their kind of place. Well, that's where I'm staying. Are you taking back your offer? Mean exhales sharply and shakes their head. This way. Min's route is completely different from my slow early morning mentoring. Their steps are swift and sure, even though all the streets blur together in the dark. You know the city pretty well. I grew up here. I think that's the first thing they've told me voluntarily since we met. Was it always like this? Min's gaze wanders, dragging along the dingy buildings. I struggle to decipher their expression. Regret? No, Eridia was never perfect, but it used to be a place worth living in. I can't make my heads or tails of Min's answer. Eridia's is the last bastion of humanity in this wasteland. Where else is worth living? The wet week's not much further now. In no time at all, the shadowy alleys of Low Town gave way to brightly lit avenues and crowds of lively people. It's as if half the city has poured into Amaryllis districts, colorful streets, laughter, clinking glasses, and music assault my ears from every direction. Yet most of the noise comes from the wet week. Its doors hang wide open, bright lanterns frame a tall and familiar figure. Irina and Min, I see. It's hard to say which of us is more surprised. You know each other? Min is a freelancer who has done a few errands for me. They are quite reliable. Though I can't say I remember you ever escorting travelers. Irina nearly walked into the jaws of a soulless. I thought bringing her here would be less trouble. Ah, if you're staying here, I take it Leander was able to help you. As it happens, I was also headed in that direction. Shall we? Fine. He still owes me for yesterday's work. Min drags their feet, reluctantly trailing me into the tavern. As soon as the door opens, a wave of sticky heat rolls over me. In the hours since I left, the week has grown suffocatingly crowded. Kira stands a head taller than most. Even so, I nearly lose sight of him amid the sea of swarming bodies. Pardon me. As if on cue, the crowd parts. Kira glances over his shoulder at Min and me before colliding through. How can anyone breathe in here? Min follows at a clipped pace. Behind the bar, Leander holds a pair of shot glasses brimming with luminous green liquid. And now for the finishing touch. A flash of magic paints the glasses white with frost. You'll never guess what's in this. He slides the glasses across the counter, and I get my third and fourth shocks of the evening in rapid succession. Eyes leans against the bar, an elbow propped up on the counter. He catches the glasses and lifts one to the light before turning it upside down, the contents magically congealed? Magically congealed? Okay, I didn't know you actually had these words. Very relatable. Okay, stay firmly in place. You are supposed to make drinks, pretty boy. Don't tell me you're wasted already. Veer, perched on the counter beside Eyes, looks at the shot glass and shakes his head. What have we here? A bucket full of boogers? Leander's nose treasure? You've eaten worse. Veer's lips twitch and his ears flatten when offered the glass. Eyes snickers. Coward. Don't tell me you're actually. In one fluid motion, Eyes throws his head back and dons the shot. Drinking that, a dark look crosses Eyes' face. It's chewy. Chewy? Wait, let me try again. Behind me, Mean grumbles. I told you this place was a nest of degenerates. If it isn't curious and mean. At the sound of Leander's voice, Mean pale eyes grow white. They look ready to bolt until Curious sets a hand on their shoulder. This will not take long, I promise. Mean's eyes dart from Curious' hand to his face, then softens. Fine, you first. While they step forward, I linger behind, struck by a sudden revelation. All of the people I've met recently know each other. Yeah, apparently. Good evening, Leander. Eyes, another drinking competition, I presume? Is it evening already? Just some friendly rivalry, Doctor. No need to be alarmed. Curious acknowledges Leander and Eyes with a slight nod, ignoring fear entirely. Not that fear seems to mind. He tilts his head, lips curving into an impish smile when he spots Mean brooding behind Curious. I almost didn't see you there, Mean, looking for your booster seat. Mean pushes their hood back and levels Veer with a cool look. I thought pets weren't allowed in here. Veer's eyes narrow. At the first sign of an impending fight, Leander's vaults over the counter. Let's try and keep the peace. It's not every day the esteemed doctor takes us up on a drink. His arms snakes around Kira's shoulders. You are finally taking me up on that drink, right, Kira? I'm afraid not. We were merely escorting Irina back to her lodgings. Curious gestures in my direction and my stomach sink. I reluctantly step into the light. Leander's face brightens as soon as he sees me. Irina, it's been too long. Everyone, this is Irina. She's new to Eridia. I feel 4 pairs of eyes fixed on me, and suddenly the bar seems suffocatingly small. My voice nearly catches in my throat. We've already met, true. Hi again. Hi again. Hi everyone again. Again, you've met. Eyes in fear regard me with subtle, amused expressions. We did, not that long ago either. To think we'll cross paths once again, it must be fate. I roll my eyes. Vera looks far too pleased with himself. This calls for drinks I'm buying. All eyes turn to Leander, freeing me from the burden of attention. I still can't believe they all know each other. Watching them talk among themselves is surreal. But for the first time since I undertook the journey to Eridia, I feel a faint glimmer of hope. I know I was meant to meet them. The low, pleasant rumble of Leander's laughter pulls me from my restless thoughts. I've got to admit, I'm surprised. You make friends fast, Irina. I wouldn't go that far. We're more like acquaintances. Yeah, more like acquaintances. I'm glad you think in the same way. Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. A wise man once said that acquaintances are merely friends you haven't shared a drink with yet. A wise man. You said that here, last week. Mean's lips curl with distaste, but Leander's continues unperturbed. Let's toast to Irina's health. Care to join in, Doctor? Curious politely declines with a wave of his hand. How about you, Min? No. Are you? No. A resounding pop pierces the din of the bar. We all turn to find the bartender pouring champagne from an old bottle, its label worn blank. He hands the drink to Veer. When did they start serving champagne here? Veer pauses to lick the foam from his fingers with a coy smile. You don't mind, do you? In a blink, the concern of Leander's face vanishes. No, be my guest. While chuckling, Leander shoots the bartender a questioning look. Completely disinterested in his company, eyes cants his head at me with a light smile. How about you, Sparrow? I did say I'll buy you a drink. No, my treat. Eyes regards Leander over the rim of his glass. In the dim light, the glint in his eyes looks downright dangerous. What it will be, Irina? I'll take that drink. I wish I could take all of the drinks. Like, I cannot. Since doctors discover my disease and I'm taking like medication for it, I love wine. I love red wine especially. And I cannot drink anymore. I cannot drink like nothing. No alcohol. You know, like just no alcohol. And I'm like, I would just drink whatever, you know. like that. I'll take you up on that drink as long as it's not one of those green shots. Don't knock them till you've tried them. They taste better than they look. Somehow I doubt that, but I hold my tongue. Min and Curious drift towards one end of the bar. Both seem eager to leave at a moment's notice, and neither has ordered anything. Eyes and Veer linger. Several glasses stand empty between them, and the two show no signs of slowing down. Oh, okay. So let me put it like this. I think Min and Curious, I think we might be Min might be a tsundere. And Curious might be a kudere. But I'm not sure. I'm just like saying this. Vere might be the playboy type, you know, the man whore kind of thing. Eyes might be the Ore-sama, you know, that guy that thinks he's always above everyone. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that it is, okay? I'm just like maybe it is like that. Leander might be the skinny type. I don't know. But I would say probably, like, in terms of looks, this is like kind of like that. In terms of looks, I think I would be more drawn to eyes. Yeah, in terms of looks, just because it's like different, you know. But I think in terms of personality, maybe Leander would actually get me more than the others. Although I like the doctor, scientific, nerdy types like Min and Curious. Let's go to Min and Curious. I kind of like that. It's less crowded further down the bar, and my breathing eases. I've never liked packed spaces. Curious gives me a knowing look as I approach. Were the week's offerings not to your liking? Let me guess, I'll end up face down in a barrel after a sip of anything here. His mouth quirks, but he shakes his head. Quite the opposite. The drinks are notoriously watered down. It lowers costs while encouraging the patrons to overindulge. Min looks up from adjusting the laces of one of their bracers. The only reason anyone bothers coming here is for the cheap rooms and cheaper drinks. Perfect conditions for terrible mistakes. It almost sounds like you are speaking for experience. Their pale face reddens and they look away, scowling. Before I can respond, Leander returns with a tumbler and sets it in front of me. A strip of orange peel bobs into the pool of thin red alcohol. I sniff the drink. To my relief, all I smell is the sweet scent of pomegranates. I was never able to say this. I know what it is. I consume a lot. I love them. But I was never able to say it the way you say. For us, it's such a simple word with like 4 letters. Do you understand? So it's like such a mouthful of words. It's pomegranate. Okay, I think I'm saying it. With an undercurrent of fermented fruit. Okay, I click it, but do nothing. Okay. Relax, it's just a local specialty. Oh my god, pomegranate wine. Although, if you're feeling more adventurous, I shake my head. Leander wraps his knuckles against the bar until the group falls silent. Alright, everyone, let's toast. May Irina stay in Eridia, be full of bright adventures and discoveries. Cheers. Leander eyes and Fear raise their glasses in unison. Min only crosses their arms and Curious watches with polite indifference. Yeah, I think it might be like, as I said, like at least Min seems like the tsundere type and Curious seems like the kudere type. While the others, I mean, Very seems like the man whore. I don't know, it seems like. I'm still not sure about Ace and Leander. Leander seems like the confident type, but he's like schemy. I don't know. Seems like that. I don't know. And Eyes, I'm kind of like, because of the way he talked with us. So there's also like this type in Japan, which is like the ore-sama. The ore-sama is like that guy that always thinks like he's above everyone. Do you understand? But I don't know. I'm just like saying that it might be like that, but I don't know. I tip my drink back. The wine is eye-wateringly strong. Despite a sharp, bitter edge, it goes down smoothly. One sip softens the edges of my vision. The next fades the din of the crowded bar into a low, persistent murmur. I find myself unwinding for what feels like the first time in years. Aren't you the popular one, Irina? You must have met Curious first. It would be more accurate to say that I found her. He saved my life. I mean, a lot of people already saved our lives in here. I merely performed my duty as a doctor. Although I'll admit I was confused when I woke up naked. Leander makes a choked noise. Somewhere behind him, Min sighs. It's not what you think. Irina was in grave condition. I could hardly treat such injuries through tattered clothes. The silence that follows stretches uncomfortably long. I look away, unable to face Kira's disappointment, and catch Veer snickering behind his hand. That's my cue to change the topic. Curious isn't the only one who saved me today. Don't you listen? I didn't save you. You were simply there. That's mean for you. Leander reaches for Min, but they duck under his arm with practiced ease. As reliable as they are moody. You're one to talk considering you neglected to warn her to stay off the streets at night. What? Of course I warned her, I think. Min's only response is a short breath. At any rate, I never got a chance to thank you, Min. Don't. The less soulless alive, the better. Min's eyes flick towards Eyes, and their lips twist. Eyes is too busy nodding along to Veer's enthusiastic pantomime of stepping to notice. I've had enough of this hellhole. Let's go. Min and Curious share a brief look, then the doctor speaks up. Very well, but there is something that I must discuss with Leander. If you'll excuse me, Irina. And just like that, the three of them depart, leaving me alone to savor my drinks in silence. Or so I think, until I hear a voice so soft and low it's practically a purr. Lost your tour guide. I turn to find 2 pairs of slit eyes trained on me. It's not lost on me, then Eyes and Fear chose to pounce the instant the others left. Of course, I'll be stuck with the two most irritating people I've met all day. Monsters or not, there's no telling what I'll do if either of them push me again. Don't tell me Leander already snuck out back to get his slobbered. Sorry, give me just a moment. He's got business with Curious and Min. 2-on-1 business, huh? Lucky. I can't tell if it's the champagne or the company, but Veer has grown noticeably more relaxed. He sits with his chin propped on the back of his hand. His tail sways lazily. Why are you so far away? Come, join us. He pats the empty bar stool beside Ace, but I hesitate. The smile Veer wears is sweet and distinctly sly, and with drinks in the mix, I dread how he and Ace will mess with me next. We don't bite. I'm not sure about that. He already tried to rob me, and you threaten me. Me? Steal? You must be mistaken. You sure it was me? Yes, it was you, and then you had the gall to kick me out so you could go drinking. Ace gives another one of his shrugs. Had to give you a reason to come looking. Miss me already? I stare at him flatly, unimpressed by his deflection. Veer suddenly leans towards me. I don't know this one. Samir. I don't know this one. I'm not going to pronounce it right. Samir's sleeves, pulling where he rests his elbows on his knees. Samir's sleeves. Samir. I need to search. I don't know. I sets his hand on Veer's waist, narrowly preventing him from tipping off the counter. I'm afraid we got off on the wrong foot. How about we start fresh, huh? Begin with proper introductions and whatnot. I'll start. The name's Veer. I'm soulless hunter of no small renown. Veer's hand flutters to his chest and he bows his head, flinching when hair falls over his eyes. Eyes doesn't say anything, so I suppose it's my turn now. You already know my name. Okay, but he said his name again, so yeah, sure. It's Irina. Veer considers me for a long moment, his tail idly swaying behind him. Then he knocks back to the rest of his champagne. It's a pleasure to formally meet you, Irina. He says my name slowly and deliberately, savoring every syllable. A tinge jumps down my spine. I quickly turn my gaze away. I smirks at my reaction. Is something funny? Nope. I open my mouth and close it just as quickly. They want me to react, goading me into another ridiculous game. While their sharp, cat-like eyes keep me on edge, something about this tension is funny. It must be the wine. A flash of white over Eyes shoulders catches my eye. I don't know if I'm like eyes. I don't know if I'm saying this guy's name the correct way. Like A's. You probably say like A's. I opened that vowel. That's why I keep saying because I open, and like I open in most of like when you say A, but this is and is like open in all of the languages that I know. In French, in Spanish, in Japanese, it's always open. Like open. The is open. That's why like only in English I feel like I need to treat it as a E. E for us is your E. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's confusing, I know. It's like, so when I look at it, my first reaction, because of the amount of languages that I know, is to open the vowel, not actually close it like you do and treat it as a E. So yeah, the A's, like the A's. I'll try it. A flash of white over A's shoulder catches my eye. It's just it's the processing in my brain, you know. I end up just going along with what it's more average for me, you know. Across the bar, Kira's heads for the door. I don't see Leander or Min, but it feels wrong to tell the doctor leave without saying to let the doctor leave without saying goodbye. I'll be back. Veer grins and waves at me as I leave. I slip through the crowd, careful not to touch anyone, but just as I'm nearing Kira's, I stagger, shoulder checked by a man with a neck twice as wide as his head. He stares down at me, nostrils flaring. Out of my way, shit stain. My words spill out on their own. Watch it. I regret them as soon as they leave my mouth. That fucking wine. The lowlife wheels around, shoving an adder out of the way so he can close in on me. What did you say? He shoves me backwards, sending me stumbling to the sticky floor. I'm fine, but my heart leaps into my throat when I see him bearing down on me. You trying to start something here? The lowlife freezes, his fist cooked back. A group of adders circle him, sizing him up. For what feels like an agonizingly long time, the lowlife looks from me to the adders. Finally, he sniffs and spits on the floor next to me. The wet narrowly misses my cheek. Screw it, too many freaks in this circus tonight. He turns his back on me and comes face to face with Ace. Ace. He gives the lowlife a dangerous smile. You'll do. What happens next is a blur. Ace's fist crashes into the man's jaw, causing a frenzy of gasps, shouts, and even cheers. I scramble to my feet as the frantic crowd swarms around me through the ruckus. I hear Leander's shouting. Take it aside, Ace. Everyone, drinks are on me. With that, the week erupts in hoots and cheers. The ring around me disperses as adders and onlookers rush towards the bar. Through the thinning crowd, I catch glimpses of familiar faces. Ace vanishes out the back, dragging the lowlife behind him. Curious lingers near the door, searching, I suspect, for any wounded before he departs. Min draws their hood up tight as they duck out a side door, while Veer leans over the counters to swipe a glass of wine from behind the bar. And Leander, seated at the opposite end of the bar, gestures dramatically and apologetically at the bartender. In a heartbeat, I realize that there's no telling when or if I'll see any of them ever again. However, I pursue However, the one I pursue may be the last person I get to speak to tonight, right? However, the one I pursue, I presume it's like that. The one I pursue may be the last person I get to speak to tonight. I follow. I think they are all interesting. They are all interesting. And that's why I was saying at the beginning that I heard that this game is really good. It's such a pity that it's been 3 years at least in the making. I really liked him, but I'm kind of like, I bet he might be the yandere. Because I always go like, I'm always like into like these troublemaker guys and whatever, and sometimes they end up like being the yandere guys. Okay, let's go. Yet again, I find myself squeezing through a crowd to reach Leander. As the bartender leaves, Leander's expression falls with a spent sigh. I always say sight. He reaches over the counter to grab a bottle of black rum and skillfully pops it open for a swig. When he spots me, worry overtakes him. Irina, are you hurt? Leander's in front of me in a flash, eyes searching for injuries. I can't help but let out a small laugh. Don't worry, I've dealt with worse. That's a relief to hear, sort of. You know what they say, it's not a party without mayhem and violence. Is that what they say? He offers me the rum. I politely decline. I'll rather not get into more trouble if I can help it. Instead, I plop down on a bar stool, doing my best to ignore its stickiness from who knows what. Oh, God. He sits beside me, resting his arm on the counter's edge behind us. With how close our stools are, I feel encircled by his body. 2 days and you've already met everyone worth knowing. How are you finding Eridia so far? I don't mind it. While I'm still alive, Eridia is not the safest place, but I am starting to think that nowhere is safe. I wouldn't know. I was born and raised here and haven't felt the need to venture elsewhere. To me, this is home. That sounds like a fantasy. I've never had a home, so I can't relate. I wonder what it's like to have roots in one place. Will I ever be able to live like that? Regardless, a pang of envy strikes my heart. Maybe once I'm free of my curse, I'll be able to try again. Eridia has its quirks, but you'll get used to it, or it will eat you alive like a wild soulless. Truth be told, I wouldn't have it any other way. Leander sips his rum and watches the crowd. Everyone seems invigorated by the free drinks on his tab. Have you at least gotten to try some Iridian cuisine? I had these fried duck sticks from a vendor near Kira's clinic. As soon as I begin describing my meal, Leander nods with recognition. The long lads from Wens. You have to try them with the porridge. There's another stall a few blocks away that specializes in rosewater rice pudding. I can take you there sometime. That sounds delicious and expensive, though I know Leander would insist on paying. I despise the thought of relying on handouts. Or I can take you there once I earn some money. I still owe you for the inn room. You don't owe me anything, Irina. Giving you a place to sleep isn't generosity, it's human decency. If there's anything I can do to help keep you safe, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Everything he says feels alien to me. The concept of human decency has long felt obsolete in this world, let alone someone actually caring for my safety. That's why I'm kind of like, could this guy be like the one that it's kind of feeling like he's comforting and gentle and giving us attention and providing us everything, but at the end, he's like the double-faced yandere type of guy. I don't know. I don't know. I stare at him, inspecting those clear emerald eyes for any hint of deception. Is there something on my face? I sigh and lean back. If only. Oh, what were you looking for? Honesty. Whatever that looks like. You don't believe me? It's just that you are saying all the right things. I don't know. Maybe I'm just skeptical. You say skeptical. Maybe I'm just skeptical that someone like you could even exist. Leander considers this for a moment, swirling the rum around in its bottle. He sets the rum back on the counter with a clink. The next thing I know, Leander carefully takes one of my hands in his. The leather is rough, but his warmth seeps through. I can change whatever happened in your past, believe me, I would try if I could. But you are here now, and I'll do my best to help you. I'm grateful you are even giving me a chance at all. My gaze drops to my hand wrapped up in his large one. I remember how he felt yesterday. His smooth skin was electric to the touch. If you've seen what I've done, you might feel differently. He lifts my chin with the crook of his finger, forcing our eyes to lock once more. You are not dangerous, Irina, trust me on that. My heart skips. I feel trapped in the softness of his expression and the lightness of his touch. His eyes are captivating like cut jewels peeking through long lashes. I don't get to admire them for long. Leander notices some aiders watching us. He loudly clears his throat and pulls away. Well, maybe a little dangerous considering I forgot my manners when I'm with you. You sure have a way of capturing my attention. My face flushes. I also clear my throat and rack my brain for a response. Likewise, I feel the same way. It's why I wanted to talk to you again. Leander's face softens. I wanted to talk to you too. I've been wondering, is it okay that you are spending time with me? Do you have work to do with the other stone or anything? I don't know how his group functions, but he sure likes to spend time at the wet week. Don't worry, there's plenty of work to do, but not tonight. Some days are slower than others. You came at the right time. I smile, comforted by the idea of having good luck for once in my life. Sorry I crashed your little party. I had no idea you all knew each other. I had no idea you knew all of them. How did you manage to meet everyone so quickly? I honestly don't know. It's been a whirlwind. I'm a little jealous. Part of me wants to keep you all to myself. Oh my god, the yandere vibes. No, I'm just, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I'm just like, because I think I'm grasping a little bit of the others, but I'm missing the yandere in here. So I'm like, could it be this guy? And usually they are, okay, sometimes they start by being rough and all of it, but most of the times they are like the gentle, that guy that you never thought they were going to be dangerous and they are going to put you in a freaking cage or something like that. Okay, so I'm like, I don't know. For your own safety, of course. Everyone might seem nice, but half of them are monsters and the other half have their own faults. You sound like you know them really well. I do, probably more than some of them realize. Are you curious about anyone? I'm happy to tell you what I know. Curious would be, mean would be cool too. I feel like I don't know. I'm still not grasping enough of this guy though. Give me a bit of this one. So you're friends with Ace. You could say that. We've known each other for a long time. I feel like the encounter that we had with him, it didn't give me much, okay? They were kind of like playing, joking, whatever, but it didn't give me much. You could say that we've known each other for a long time. Define long time. 6 years, give or take. He tells me I'm the first decent human he met after coming from the Shroud. Could just be flattery though. Flattery from Ace. I feel like we are talking about different people. Really, what did you think of him? Well, yeah, she kind of thought he was a jerk. I think he's a jerk. She even said that he was a bastard. Remember, his name was like Bastard. I think he's a jerk. I thought he was going to kill me when I first met him. Scared me half to death for no reason. Leander stifles a laugh, eyes twinkling with fondness. Ace does well in Eridia because he knows how to scare people, but don't let it get to you. He's a monster. You don't think he's a monster. You don't think he's a threat. Not in the slightest. I like to think of us as rivals. We keep each other on our toes, you know? Being rivals with a monster sounds like a death wish. Well, you should keep your distance from him. But me? You'll be surprised how much I can handle. Oh, okay, he can tell us more about the others. Okay, then the curious doctor boy. Curious seemed like a good person, although it's hard to believe anyone's a good person these days. What does your gut tell you? He probably is suspicious, but let's say like he's good, okay. I think he means well. I think he's probably just a kudere, the type of the kudere type. I think he means well. It's rare to find someone like that. It's hard to tell. He's definitely keeping some secrets up his sleeve. Yeah, I bet. In fact, he told us that the best coin in there was secrets. So he must have his own. Everyone has secrets, don't they? Not everyone. Well, do you think he might be able to cure my curse? Leander starts to speak, then pauses. Curious is only a doctor. Your situation is a bit more complex and on the magical variety. Besides, getting his attention requires a miracle all on its own. Even on good days, the queue for the clinic rounds the block 3 times over. Okay, Mean's interesting, not very forthcoming though. I get the feeling they could use a friend. I get the feeling he's a Tsun. You want to befriend them? Sure, I would like to befriend him. Couldn't hurt to try, right? Unfortunately, they prefer to be alone. Yeah, he's kind of a lone wolf. What makes you say that? I've known them since they arrived in Eridia. We work well together, but they've turned down every attempt I've made at friendship. Sometimes even paying Mean for work can be a struggle. Is Mean part of the Adelstone? There I go with the mosquitoes in here. Ah, God, biting me. No contract only. Though they take jobs more often than some of the other stone do, I don't take it personally. I suggest you don't waste your energy on someone who won't respect your time. So, Fear, probably the man whore. What do you know about Fear? Leander shakes his head slowly, his expression grave. He's a living example of the Cenobium's cruelty. Most days they keep him on a short leash. I'm surprised you met him. He must have deserved it. Okay, I feel bad for him. I didn't even know the Cenobium had prisoners. I feel bad for him. The Cenobium is a nod to false heroism and unethical practices, but Fear is by no means a model citizen. He's on that leash for the good of the people. You don't want to know the rumors I've heard. Apparently he's done some reprehensible things. But if you hate the Cenobium, do you actually believe that? To love or hate the Cenobium is one thing, but take one look at Fear in combat and you'll know he's better off in a cage. By the way, have you kept your little secret? Our secret. He wiggles his fingers at me. Oh, he means my curse. No one knows except you. Leander beams, his bright eyes crinkling at the corners. My heart flutters. I'm getting signals. This guy is the yandere boy. Am I the only one that knows about it? Am I the only one? I'm getting the signals. I'm relieved to hear that. Let me know if you have some time to talk privately. I've already gathered some relevant information that you might be interested in. Really, that was fast. I live to serve. It's barely been a full day. I don't doubt that Leander is flooded with connections, but I wonder what he's been able to dig up so soon. I would just go with thank you, but yeah, what kind of info? What kind of information? I'll share everything, but not here. There are too many prying ears. If you're not busy, we could go upstairs. It's hard for me to hide my eagerness, or maybe it's desperation at any new knowledge about my curse. My response comes out swiftly. I also kind of just want to be with you, you know. I'm not busy. Leander gets to his feet, accessories jingling with each movement. Accessories, you see, accessories. I always forget to say it in that way. After you. Only after we enter my inn room do I start to overthink the situation. The room is little more than a dark box with a bed in the middle, which I forgot to make. Well, I didn't forget. I just never expected to have guests. Yet here I am, next to Leander, alone. Leander locks the door behind us. Oh my god. Peace and quiet. Except for the ongoing buzz of the bar right beneath us and suspicious thuds from nearby rooms. Leander moves with familiarity through the space with a flick of his fingers. The sconces light up on the wall. He makes spell work look so effortless. Dim amber light washes over us. He plops onto the edge of the disheveled, squeaky bed. I shift awkwardly. The chair looks far too rickety, so my only option would be to sit beside him. My heart hitches at the thought. Is something wrong? I shake my head, quickly waving my hands back and forth. No, nothing's wrong. Leander squints his eyes at me. You seem uncomfortable. A long silence later, he clicks his tongue. Shit, I'm so inconsiderate. This is your private space now, isn't it? I shouldn't be barging in here like this. No, that's not... I'm sorry, Irina, you've been through so much the past couple of days. We can talk about this tomorrow, you should rest. Panic wells in my chest. After everything he's done for me, I can't shut him out. What if there is no tomorrow? When he moves to stand, I rush forward without thinking. I plant my hands firmly on his shoulder and reseat him on the bed. I'm above him now, staring down into his wide green eyes, with barely a breath of air between us. I didn't think this far ahead. I didn't think at all. Instead, I force out the only words on my mind. Don't leave, please. Irina. You're afraid. My fingers tremble. I'm about to pull away when Leander catches both my wrists in his hands. He guides my hands back to his broad shoulders, my palms resting firmly against him. I won't leave you, Irina. Tears sting at the backs of my eyes. I want so badly to believe those words. I try to muster as much strength as possible so my voice isn't a croak. Do you promise? I promise. What if I'm paranoid about you being nice to me? Then I'll keep being nice until you get used to it. I won't leave you, and you won't leave me. God, I won't leave me. His thumbs draw circles on the inside of my wrists, grounding me. You have something I've never seen before. Your curse is strong, yet you're stronger, the way you are able to contain it. It's fascinating and it's a little embarrassing. His voice lowers to a whisper. But I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. I stare at him blankly, my brain refusing to process his words. What did you say? What? Who said that? Nothing. No one. Just forget I said anything. I didn't say anything. Am I dreaming? This feels like a dream. The air is dizzyingly hot, and I'm trying to keep up with what's happening, but Leander continues anyway. I may be getting carried away with this. It's not every day I find something that truly challenges me. But I'll do everything on your terms, at your own pace, everything you want, Irina. My chest feels like it's about to burst. This man is going to be the death of me. Another red one, so we're going to get the red one. Touch his face. I can't deny what I want, and it must be obvious to Leander too. But instead of having a modicum of restraint, I blurt it out. I want to touch your face. Oh, you're more forward than I thought. Is that okay? He slides his hands from my wrists to my palms and gently brings them down between us. It's better than okay. My lips quirk into a relieved smile. Hurry up then. Your wish is my command. He begins unwinding the bandages, stopping occasionally to glance at me. I don't take my eyes off him. It's kind of weird, right? Why doesn't it affect him, though? Like, there's so many things going on here we know nothing about. When my hands are free, I start small, carefully grazing the edge of his jaw with the pads of my fingers. But I would be honest with you. Like, if I was like in a situation like this, and imagine like this guy, he was the first guy I was able to touch. How would I not be interested in this guy and actually touching him again if I've never touched anyone with my bare fingers? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, I would totally be like, in a real situation, I would totally be like, he was the only one. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, maybe the others I could do that too. But since I don't know, I would totally be into this guy, like, in a way, like, he was the only one I could touch, you know? When my hands are free, I start small, carefully grazing the edge of his jaw with the pads of my fingers. I feel it clench beneath my touch, as if Leander's trying his best to hold still. Emboldened, I cup his cheeks, letting the warmth spread beneath my fingertips. Well, are you enjoying yourself? My thumb moves over the ridge of the scar on his cheek, and he shudders, his hearing jingling against my knuckles. That tickles. Yes, I'm enjoying myself. Maybe too much. It's like my body moves on its own, spurred by desire and nothing else. I swipe my thumb down, brushing lightly over Leander's lower lip. Something flashes in his eyes, something scaldingly hot. He lowers his voice to a husky whisper. What else do you want? Why is he even asking? He knows the answer. I've never touched someone like this before, and even though it makes my head spin, it's not enough. I want more. I think I would totally understand, even if it was like a one night stand kind of thing. Imagine you've never touched anyone. Like, it would be like, I don't know, something else, you know, even if it was just for one night or something. I want more too. My thoughts scatter. We are already here, alone in this dark room on the edge of the bed. I could easily push him down onto the sheets, get on top of him, and... A sharp gasp escapes me, and I quickly pull away. I can let this get out of hand. Are you all right? I can barely hear him over my thundering heartbeat. I nod clumsily, wrapping my hands with the bandages. Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I think I'm just getting a little overwhelmed. He gives me a faint smile. That's cute. Luckily, we are already in your room. I'll get out of here and let you get some rest. I let out a breathless laugh at that. Leander rises and tucks his gloves back on. Thanks, Leander, for everything. He gives me one last sweet smile, accompanied by a wink. Good night, Irina. Night. Long after he departs, I still feel the warmth of his skin on mine burning through the bandages. I'm going to have a hard time sleeping tonight. A feeling nags at the back of my drowsy mind. I'm forgetting something really important. Wait, didn't Leander say he had some information for me? Yeah, apparently he had. Choose our fate. I bet the demo is going to stop in here, right? Unless it's going to continue. What about this guy? Let's see each one of them, and then we go back. The cursed outsider. Okay, despite their cold nature and familiarity with violence, Min is just as desperate as you to get into Cenobium. So he also has a curse. Okay, you may be able to help each other, but they are keeping as many secrets as you. They claim they are dangerous, but could they be your only chance at getting into the Cenobium? Okay. The repentant angel. From all appearances, Curious is a principled doctor of extraordinary skill, but you know little about the man beneath the professional mask, and Curious keeps even his friends at a cold distance. If you uncover his deepest secrets, will you like what you find? The Demon Renegade. An intimidating yet laid-back outsider, Ace presides over a sea spring with unnerving powers. He offers you a miracle, but the price means submitting yourself to a horrifying presence at the heart of the spring. Will you gaze into the abyss for answers, even at the risk of losing yourself? Okay. I'm going to leave him for last one. Fear, the chained charlatan. Veer serves as a warning of the dangers posed by the cenobium. As cunning as he is curious, Veer finds you fascinating and insists that he can help, but trusting him means entrusting your life to a colored beast with a lethal reputation. Can Veer protect you, or are his honeyed words a trap waiting to snap shut? Okay. The heroic mage. Leander offers you something that should be impossible, a taste of normalcy free of your curse. As the first person to withstand your touch, he could change your life, but some things are simply too good to be true. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. He promises to help unravel your curse, but at what cost? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I knew it. I was like, I bet it's going to stop in here. Thank you for playing. See more in here and follow. And yeah, that's it. I wanted to see, because I didn't saw their Kickstarter, and I'm not seeing it in here either. Updates, delayed, please. Yeah. Let me just see if there's something that they say in here that will no longer be released in 2025. We are not aiming to 2026, so this year. This is because the game has grown in scope and ambition beyond what we initially planned. We are still a small part-time team, and we remain committed to making something beautiful without crunching. Chapter 1 will be completed this winter. We'll be sharing sneak peeks from this update down the line. We are adding some backgrounds revamps and illustrations, and we are launching a Patreon. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's just like it's as I said. I actually didn't play it. I played it like until I got a bad ending at the beginning, and I was like, I have other things to. I was watching others, and I was like, I'm going to come to this one another time. And I was astonished when I saw that this game was still to be announced. I was like, oh my god, don't tell me another one that is like years and years passed by and we're still waiting for it. When it's just a visual novel, you know, it's kind of like gets into me. But it is, as people say, without doubt. It seems very cool to play. All of the guys seem to be something not only visual, but seem to have like some kind of background in there, so which kind of makes you even more curious about them. So yeah, I will also be very curious about this one. Another thing that I felt that it was very well done is that there was never a moment in there, like when they put like things for open to everyone, you know, to straight people, to the LGBT community, sometimes you kind of like can feel that they put it like, or it's too much neutral and you kind of feel the lack of something in there, or it's too much. They say that it's open to the LGBT community, but then you notice that there's a more of a relevance to the Otome type of game, or like you always kind of like feel something in there. And with this one, I didn't notice that. I honestly didn't notice that. It was completely okay in terms of that, which I really liked it too. So that's it. That's going to be it for today. We could actually play another one, but unfortunately, as I said, I'm still not completely okay, and I have things to do, despite being the weekend. But tomorrow, I still don't know, but I'm thinking about tomorrow bringing us maybe 2 games. But I'm still not certain, because it always depends, why. It always depends that sometimes I start and then, suddenly it's like 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. And I'm like, okay, no, it's just going to be one day today. So we'll see it, okay? And that's it for today. I'm going to leave the link in the description as usual for you. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you very much for being in there. Thank you. Bye-bye.